keeping the flow. In Tanya, we always want to understand where exactly we are going in this masterpiece. What crescendo we're at in this musical, Tanya. The person the Alter Rebbe is addressing is feeling complacent. The attitude is, I'm comfortable in my divine service. I don't need to change anything. Things are just fine as they are. Complacency, a bubble popper. You ready for this? It is to the extent of the struggle that determines whether you are actively fighting your impulse to evil. Right? This is not about the external results that other people see, or even that I see. This is about my own inner work. And any person who has not adopted this approach of fighting this difficult war against the body could not yet be described as fighting his impulse to evil. So even though externally my actions look fine, I'm doing the right things, Shachar Smicha Marav, there I am. No, this is about so much more than that. This is about our inner fire, inner connection with the divine. Right? So we need to be fighting the impulse to evil, which blazes like a flaming fire. He has not caused his impulse to evil to be subdued and broken through trepidation of God. A person might observe all the mitzvahs meticulously, okay, A through Z, and pray in synagogue 3 times a day, and he has not begun to fight his impulse to evil. The test of this is he struggling greatly? I mean, sometimes we think of like, I'm struggling as a bad sign. No, this is growth. This is work. There's an animal soul that's like fire in here. I need to be working on myself, and it feels good. Stagnancy, complacency, it does not actually feel good. It feels stuck. Energy, movement, flow, that's where we want to be. We want to be in a place of growth, like, wow, I'm always working on myself. Now, when that's like a place of shame and like, oh no, I hope no one finds out, then yeah, that's horrible. But when it's like, wow, no, this is really me serving God. This is my authentic relationship with God. The fact that I'm always working on doing internal work. That's really the litmus test of like, wow, yeah, this is a real relationship with God. And we know this relationships with other people. When everything's just fine in a relationship, I'm in this place of complacency. Real relationships are always growing. That doesn't mean I need drama. We can grow from the good. It means I'm putting effort into this relationship. The Alter Rebbe is encouraging us to do a spiritual stock taking and check in if I'm genuinely putting effort in the following areas. Remember, the person that we're addressing is feeling superior, spiritually superior to other people. So Alter was saying, before you're so quick to judge, let's see if I'm really genuinely putting energy and effort into these areas. Here's our list. Biblical requirements such as grace after meals, Birkat HaMazon. Biblically required blessings, both over pleasurable experiences and before mitzvahs, right? Birkas Hananim, like blessings we say on different pleasurable experiences, and the blessings we say before putting on a mezuzah or washing our hands for bread. Am I really putting effort in? Am I doing it by rote, or am I really having geshmak, a chayes, a delight in these mitzvahs? Having authentic intentions, kavana, when performing the mitzvahs. Is it happening by rote, or am I really present? Right? Because if this is an intimate relationship with God, am I bringing my full self into this? Commitment to Torah study. You should study much more than you want or desire, by nature or by nurture, through an intense struggle with your body. Meaning, is this like just like flipping through a magazine for me? Like, it's just as much as it's pleasurable. Or I'm like, no, I'm actively working to find new depths in Torah and allow the Torah to affect me in new deep ways. And giving tzedakah, right? The real test is always, am I loving God with my money, right? Am I just giving the bare minimum, or am I giving to a point that it hurts? It's okay that it hurts a little bit. It's like, wow, this is growth. I'm really like, when you're doing push-ups, it hurts, but it's growth, right? Am I doing that as well with my money? The theme is making a person realize how much they do by rote and aren't actively putting effort into. Once again, this is not the meditation you do while eating your breakfast cereal. This is if I'm in a spiritually complacent state and I need to realize, yes, things are not just totally fine. There is room for me to grow. I do not want a stagnant relationship with God. I want to get out of this place of doing things by rote. So before you judge, ask yourself, am I so holy myself? Have I even begun to fight with my impulse to evil? Right? It's easy to look over at them and be like, well, they're not fighting their Yetzer Hara. Am I fighting mine? Even if I'm checking all the boxes. I don't want to be yotzi. The word yotzi means I'm fulfilling my obligation. It literally means I'm exiting Yetziah. I don't want to be leaving my obligation. I want to be entering into it. I want to be deepening my connection. And so before I look over and point a finger, let me really go inside and check in with myself. What if someone's ego is inflated by feeling better than someone who doesn't observe the mitzvahs, right? Okay, well, I'm not perfect. No one's perfect, but I'm better than them, right? What if that's my mentality? What if that is the ego that is keeping me in a place of complacency, a place of stagnation? The Alter Rebbe has got you covered if that's your situation. Is there really any difference between turning away from evil and doing good? Right? They're both from Psalm 34. Sur me'ra v'aseh tov. Turn away from evil and doing good. They're both mitzvahs. They're all mitzvahs of the Holy King, the single unique one. Blessed be He. The religiously irreverent person. Okay, we're talking about someone here who is failing to turn away from evil. He violates the Torah prohibitions. Whereas the stunningly religious person, right, the devout, if he fails to seriously fight his impulse to evil during prayer and worship, he's failing the era of doing good. So who's worse? Who can say is one better than the other, right? We're both tripping up. Okay, this person's not turning away from evil, but I'm not necessarily doing good. I'm not necessarily really working on myself. I'm not necessarily overcoming my impulse to evil. So I might feel holier than thou. You know, here's my prayer book and all. And I'm judging that person not eating kosher, but so I'm not doing aseh tov, but they're not doing sur me'ra. Okay, we all have things to work on. That is not an excuse to judge another person and stay stuck in my own state.